The movie could, I was thinking of doing one from the Altab Ali Foundation, but I don't think I can do it now. What it is, if a young child, not child, okay, young person, say about after 50 years or 100 years, okay, somebody, right, talking to her uncle or grandfather, okay, about Altab Ali, and that person is saying that this is what I heard from his father, and then everything, the whole story is revealed, okay, through that. So it's like a movie.
Racism kind of raised its ugly head probably from mid-70s. So 75, 76 is when violent racist attacks were taking place against Black and Asian community. And of course you had the far-right National Front who were instigating some of this violence or were encouraging young people to carry out violence against Black and Asian community.
So in 1978, at the height of racial tension in Tower Hamlets, propagated by the National Front as a political party with their hooligans organizing from various pubs and other premises in the area, were running rampage on our community. Right. When I talk about Paki bashing and that era following the speech from Inner Powell, so you are talking about a situation where you would go to public buildings and you will find notices up saying no Irish, no blacks, no Pakis. Now I think that explains the situation to you. So people were subjected to racial attacks every day. It was unsafe for Bengali people to walk out of their homes and walk on the streets to go to work or do anything else. Attacks on Bengalis was an everyday experience.
In the evening, you are on your own at your home, okay, and suddenly, right, a bottle thrown through the window, or a stone or brick, or somebody came to vandalize, okay. You know, they used to pour petrol through the letterbox to cause arson. So anything could happen. So people who are, living like this, okay, taking a deep breath and just to pass the time, that sort of situation it was.
For us, it was like living under occupation. You never knew, when you left your home, whether you'd be safe, whether you'd come home safe. There was always a chance of being attacked. Everybody wanted to move out of this area. Everybody wanted to stay in E1. So places like, I don't know if you know this area, Bethnal Green, Poplar, Bow, Isle of Dogs, those were like no-go zone area. Nobody wanted to go there. Right. Everybody wanted to stay close to their own community for safety.
We were not prepared to face this racist attack, and we were panicked, absolutely panicked what to do. You see, there was a time just before Altab Ali died, people were thinking, or some of us were leaving the country for the safety. It was so much dangerous. Before Altab Ali was murdered, everybody thought something is going to happen.
So Altab Ali is a symbol of our anti-racist movement. Altab Ali himself was not an anti-racist organizer. He was a layperson, a honest young man working in the rag trade to support his family. Right. But he is the symbol of our movement. A few weeks later, another Bengali, Ishaq Ali, was murdered at the border of Hackney and Tower Hamlets. Michael Ferriera, a West Indian young lad, was murdered in Hackney. Kenneth Singh was murdered in Newham, and the Khan family were burned down in Waltham Forest. At the height of the racial tensions, Altab Ali was murdered in Whitechapel on the 4th of May 1978.
The distinction between Altab Ali and the rest of the racist murder in those days, and nobody can explain, okay, we can do analysis why Altab Ali's murder was so special than the rest of the other murders. As I said, it's like a fuse, okay, it sparked the fuse, and everybody was, you see if somebody keeps on, hitting you right day and day after, okay, although you are not doing anything, but still you have got anger inside. So that sleeping Bangladeshi just woke up, okay, after Altab Ali murder. So then we organized a national demonstration. Within 10 days preparation, we organized that thing, the national demonstration. And it was a really nice demonstration. Since independence of Bangladesh, at that time there was the biggest demonstration of the Bangladeshis. Since then, Altab Ali's demonstration was the biggest one. They said 10,000, but we say about 12,000 people at march. And the people participating was not just adult. It's adult, young men, women, everybody took to the street.
Led by young people, eventually supported by people from the older generation, and of course the anti-racist forces active in the area, notably the anti-Nazi League. And for the first time in the history of the Bengali community, the anti-racist demonstration was organized, and they marched from Whitechapel through central London to Hyde Park, where we had a rally, and then on the way back we delivered a petition to 10 Downing Street to the Prime Minister's office demanding action against racism. And that is what we call the Battle of Brick Lane 1978. Slogan was, enough is enough. Right. Here to stay, here to fight. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? An end to police brutality. When do we want it? Now.
Lots of difference. And I wrote one article for the Altab Ali Foundation that when the migrant became immigrant, okay, before all the Bangladeshis were migrant, they came here to work and to go back. After Altab Ali is dead, everybody turned into immigrants straight away. They said, yes, we are here.
As a result of this battle being successful, the community was able to enjoy freedom. The eyes of the establishment, public services, the local council, the health services, and other institutions opened up.
And then there are about 2-3 years, right? People were politicized, okay? So they got involved with politics, they got involved in local politics, right? In trade, what is it called? Tenants Association, and here, there, everywhere, because this is our place. That's a very important change of attitude.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of him.
I don't know. I don't really keep up with that stuff.
I know about the park, but I have absolutely no idea who he is.
Oh, I heard that he was a guy attacked the park. Isn't the park named after?
No, they don't know because we haven't told them. The stories need to be told. We were too busy fighting racism. So the activists themselves, they were activists, they weren't writers or historians, so they never actually wrote down anything. Yeah, like I said, for 20, 30 years, we're just too busy campaigning, up till 90s.
Because as human beings, we are empty without knowing our past. And we can only plan for the future if we are well prepared for our present time. And so these initiatives are important. In terms of our history and heritage, it's very important that the younger people get to know about their history.
Famous phrase that people don't remember the past and forget it. They are condemned to the same thing again.